Why does a compass always point north? Hi, welcome to Curious Kids Every Day. I'm Josh. How are you doing today? It's so good to hear from you. Hey, have you ever held a compass? A compass is great for imaginary adventures, isn't it? But it's also good for real adventures because you can navigate with a compass. What are the 4 directions on a compass? There's north, west, east, and south. And what direction is the arrow on the compass always pointing? Yep, it points north. Have you ever wondered how that happens? There isn't a computer inside of the compass, no batteries, no electronics. It just automatically stays pointing north all the time. Like there's some invisible force pulling it. I was thinking about compasses today because I got an email from a curious kid named Aaliyah. She wondered, how does a compass work? A compass works because the Earth itself is kind of like a giant magnet. A magnet is something that can pull on metal, especially iron. Now, when you play with magnets, if you have, I don't know, you know those magnetile toys? My kids love those toys. If you have those kind of toys or some other kind of magnet toy, what happens when you bring the magnets together? Well, a couple of things can happen. They can either snap together or they can pull each other apart. Deep inside the Earth, far beneath the ground we walk on, there is a huge amount of hot, melted metal. And some of that metal is iron. As this melted iron slowly moves and swirls, it creates something called a magnetic field. This magnetic field goes around the entire Earth. A magnetic field is an invisible force that spreads out around a magnet. You can't see it, but you can see what it does. It can pull things and push things. The Earth's magnetic field stretches from one side of the planet to the other. One end of that field points roughly toward the North Pole. The other end points toward the South Pole. Okay, now let's zoom back to the compass. See, inside a compass is a very small magnet. That magnet is shaped like a thin needle. It's balanced so that it can spin freely. When you hold a compass flat, that tiny magnet is free to turn without getting stuck. Because the needle is a magnet, it can feel the Earth's magnetic field. And one end of the needle points toward magnetic north. That's why the compass always turns and settles in the same direction. It's following the invisible magnetic force of the Earth. Now, the north that a compass points to isn't exactly the same as the top of maps. It points to what's called magnetic north, which can shift a little over time. That's why sailors and hikers and pilots learn how to adjust for that when they travel long distances. Instead, they use things like GPS or the sun and the stars, or even detailed maps with grid systems. And if you traveled all the way up to the North Pole, well, your compass wouldn't really work anymore, because at the very top of the North Pole, any direction you head is now technically south. The needle would want to tilt instead of point across the ground. Magnetic fields are just so crazy to think about. These invisible forces that can pull or push on certain kinds of objects. You know, my kids love the Magnetiles, so it's easy to just think about magnets as toys, but they are really amazing and powerful tools too. You can use them for navigation, for machines, and you can even use really big, powerful ones like electromagnets to move huge trains. That is amazing. And you know something else I learned? I learned that some animals, like birds and sea turtles, can sense the Earth's magnetic field too. And that helps them travel long distances without getting lost. Okay, let's have a quick quiz. What is inside a compass that lets it point north? A very small magnet. What invisible force does the Earth have that affects the compass? It has an absolutely huge magnetic field. Let's play true or false. True or false? A compass needs batteries to work. That is false. True or false? The Earth acts like a giant magnet. That is true. True or false? A compass needle is free to spin. That is true too. Would you rather have the world's biggest magnetile set or travel all the way to the North Pole when the sun doesn't go down? Did you know that? At the North Pole, the sun behaves very differently than it does where most people live. See, at the North Pole, for about 6 months, the sun never sets. It stays above the horizon all day and all night. This is called a polar day, or the midnight sun. And then for the other 6 months of the year, the sun never rises. It stays below the horizon the entire time. And that's called polar night. Maybe we'll talk about that in another episode. I think that is just so interesting. All right, let's play a couple of rounds of What Am I? What am I? I spin freely. I'm very thin. And I point north. What am I? I am a compass needle. And here's one more. What am I? I'm deep underground. I'm very hot. And I help create Earth's magnetism. What am I? That is the melted iron under the Earth. You know what's funny? We're actually going to talk about iron tomorrow too, but tomorrow we're going to talk about the iron that is in your blood. Have you ever tried to use a compass to navigate? I think it would be so fun to go out into the forest and try to navigate my way out of the forest using only a compass. It would be pretty easy if I knew that I needed to go, exactly north. That way I could just follow the arrow and just get all the way out of the forest. People today don't quite use compasses as much as they did a long time ago, but still, just an amazing tool and a very necessary one. I'm just always amazed every time I see a compass. It feels like magic to me, but it's actually proof that the Earth is a huge magnetic field. It's amazing. So cool. What kind of question do you think we'll ask tomorrow on Curious Kids Every Day? I can't wait to find out. So until then, keep asking questions and stay curious, kids. And we've got 3 birthdays today. Today is Audrey's birthday. Audrey is from Canada, and Audrey is turning 3. Happy birthday, Audrey. Kaya is from Taiwan, and Kaya is turning 8. Happy birthday, Kaya. And Blas is from the Philippines, and Blas is turning 5. Happy birthday, Blas. There's a chance it's pronounced Blas. I'm not really sure, so I'm going to say it both ways. Happy birthday, Blas, and happy birthday, Blas. I guess it could be Blaze, too. Happy birthday, Blaze. To all the grown-ups listening, if your curious kid wants their birthday mentioned on the show, please visit supportcuriouskids.com and join the Curious Kids Club. That's supportcuriouskids.com. See you tomorrow.